This week, a lot of you have been asking me about it. I went Thursday with 3 other pastors down to Asbury University to the revival. And it was the first time that they had closed it. They were going 24/7 until Wednesday night or Thursday morning, about 2 in the morning. And they finally closed up for just a few hours and opened back up at noon. We got there at 8:30 in the morning and found it was closed. Talked about what to do and was going to open up at noon. And then we went and ate breakfast because, I think better when I'm eating. So we ate breakfast. And then there was a church right across the street on the side there. And so the doors were open, there were people in there. We went in there and prayed with people in there. And several people there, met all kinds of people, a lot of people from Canada there, people from all over the world are right there right now. But we got to go in. It was raining like cats and dogs. We stood in the rain for over an hour in line of about 1,500 to 2,000 people in line, and finally got in. And I want to tell you, this is for me. I was asking God the whole time, God, show us how we can be who you want us to be, and show us, Lord, how this can work for Stithton Baptist Church. And so I was praying these things as I go in there. And I'm just going to tell you the truth. At first, I was a little let down when we were up in the balcony, and they gave some rules because that's a 100-year-old building. They said, if you're a jumper during music, please come downstairs. And I really believe the guy looked at me because I was with another guy that was fairly good size. So, but anyway, I'm not a jumper, so I was okay. So I stayed there. Excuse me. And so I was kind of let down because, to be honest, it was a regular service of worship. I said, God, what do you have for me in this? And God started revealing to me, I want your true worship. If you think about it, that's what heaven's going to be like. Matter of fact, Brother Gary was there yesterday, and he said that a lady said that if you think about heaven, that's what heaven's going to be like, because we are going to be praising God in heaven for eternity. And so there wasn't a bunch of hype. There wasn't all kinds of stuff going on. There wasn't a bunch of big lights. There wasn't anything. It was just people worshiping God in music and in some testimonies, and most of all that being done by 25-year-olds reading favorite verses, more songs. But you could feel the Spirit of God moving in the place. There wasn't people jumping up and down, running down the aisles. There wasn't people doing cartwheels. There wasn't people jumping over pews. Matter of fact, I'll tell you the truth, there wasn't enough room to jump over a pew. They didn't really have pews that had seats, but it was packed out. When we left there a few hours later, there was almost as long of a line still waiting to get in as there was when we were in the line to start with. Now, people say, is that the real thing? I hear critics all the time. In Acts, the 2nd chapter, there was critics at the day of Pentecost. They said, hey, them guys are drunk with wine. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. They're not drunk with wine. It's the Holy Spirit. It's a whole different thing there. But there's always going to be critics. Don't criticize something you don't know nothing about. All right? I just want to say that. But I'll tell you this, there's not a preacher alive that said, hey, we're going to open up our church for the next 7 or 8 days, 9, 10, or 11 days, and we're going to have people here the whole time. There's not anybody that I know of that would ever work. It might last a couple hours, 2 or 3, might last 4, but it has to be the hand of God when people keep coming day after day, hour after hour, and now week after week. And it's broke out in about 18 other locations that I've read about. So we need to just be ready for God's hand to move.